Let's go to John, who's an Arsenal fan. John
boy.
Well, you're still young, but when you get to 70 years old, you'll be exactly like him because another 30 years of hope is going to turn you into him. But at least he's realistic.
He is, yeah.
And one more thing I've got to say is I come from Stamford Hill. I was born right near the Arsenal ground. I live right in between the two grounds. And I used to have a good friend called Joe, Israeli guy. And I said, when are you going? He was a mad Tottenham supporter. He used to go every game. I said, when are you going back to Israel? He says, when Tottenham win the league. And guess what? He's still going down at the Tottenham. He hasn't gone back to Israel yet.
Yeah, but
He'll never go back.
John,
Go on.
Come on. We're building up to this game, but
It's going to be a great game. I think this is my thoughts on the game. Last time I was doing tennis analogies, I'm going to do boxing analogy. You are like Larry Holmes. You keep winning, and you never fight well. That's what Larry Holmes used to do. And it worries me because Arsenal are the kind of team at the moment that can overwhelm teams in the first half. But if we're not overwhelming you in the first half, then I've got a feeling it's going to be a very difficult afternoon. And as for the last caller not having the ball, Cundy specialises in not having the ball. I don't think he wants the ball, to be honest. And whatever happens, I think me and you will be celebrating top four at the end of the year. And I think the geezer sitting next year won't be. So
Geezer.
Yeah, he's not a geezer.
Geezer.
I won't go that far.
You've got no chance of top four. I told you that when I said Arsenal will win the league, and I'm not changing it. In fact, the more I see your team, the less chance I think you're getting top four this year. Forget it. You've got no chance. I think United will finish above this year, to be honest. So don't worry. Whatever happens Saturday...
Well, look...
You didn't like that comment, did you?
John.
Didn't like that comment.
No, John, no, fair enough.
I like John. John, I like John. John, I've just spoken to MrQ.com, and he says, he just texted me saying, you're caller of the week. You're now on the short list of two.
Touche. John, like I said, it's like two ball blokes fighting over a comb, listening to Arsenal and Spurs fans.
No, I don't think so.
No, it is. It is. All you're combing is your nasal hair.
All we want as supporters, we want progression, right? Tottenham are a mess. Yep. They're still not a complete team, but he's bought brilliantly. And once he gets Bazuma to play the way he wants, he's going to be a great player for Spurs. And as for us, what he's done, I came on the show a year and a half ago when we lost to Villarreal. I was crying about our policy, but I didn't realise at the time the policy was already in place. We have become like a Dortmund now. We've got young players.
Let me just look at them again.
There's only one way for us.
Let me just look. Sorry, John.
Forward.
Let me just look how many games have been played this season, Alden. Sorry,
I'm not interested in games.
Sorry.
Not interested. Not interested in games. Not interested
7.
in results. Listen, I don't look
7
at
games.
Games and results.
No.
I look at how the team's playing. Yeah. That performance
7 games
2 weeks ago. That performance against Brentford was. Arteta wants to play. He wants to control. Arteta. Brentford away.
Honestly, see that John,
and play like that?
John, honestly,
mate. If you get a 0-0
John.
there, mate.
See, this is it, right? This is
Brentford. They're the best at what they do. Don't disrespect them.
John, honestly, mate. Honestly, you got to hear yourself. Listen again on talkSPORT.com. Listen to yourself again, boasting about beating Brentford.
I'm not boasting. I'm boasting about the performance. I just said to you, I'm not interested in results.
You just said that. You said that.
No, I'm interested in the visual. How it looks.
Brentford.
At the moment, Arsenal look fantastic.
Brentford.
Now, I'm aware that for Arsenal are a Ferrari. Yeah, they're a Ferrari at the moment, and the problem with a Ferrari is that I'm very worried about players like Partey who's not fit because he was on song that game, and I think if he gets injured,
John, you got to hear yourself, mate. John, you got to hear yourself.
No, not at all, mate.
John, honestly.
Listen. I understand it's been depressing being a Chelsea fan.
John, I find it.
It's over.
Yeah, John. Every year they say the same thing. Then we win the Champions League.
We will definitely finish above you.
John,
if we don't finish above you, I'm giving up. If we don't finish above you, I'm giving up.
John, do yourself a favour now, mate. Right?
Go on.
And listen to this tomorrow morning. Back on Chelsea. Not Chelsea.
Go on, mate. Let me say one more thing. All right. I accept what you're going to say. I have seen the next superstar goalkeeper. I don't want to name him here, but anybody who's a Watford supporter or a Welling supporter will know I'm talking about. This kid is 20 years old, and I swear to God, he's the best goalkeeper I've ever seen at 20 years old. He's amazing, absolutely amazing. So anybody who's a Watford supporter will know I'm talking about. He's amazing, absolutely amazing. I wouldn't be surprised if he's the next England goalkeeper as well in a few years' time. And by then, Chelsea will be in the Championship as well.
John, every year, hear this.
You're wasting so much money
John,
this year, man. You must be worried.
John, every year, do you know what? Every year, we rock up with a major trophy.
You're not rocking. Listen, you might be rocking.
Every year.
You're going to have a trophyless season. I agree with John on this one. Trophyless season.
Do you know how many years I've had to sit here and hear that? How many years? I've been doing the show 19 years, John. John, every year I hear it.
Directors of football. Listen, you ain't even got a director of football. You've got a geezer that goes, I like Sterling. I like this one. I like that one.
John.
I'll buy him with no plan. You're finished.
John.
You're finished.
John. Listen, we'll hear this phone.
At the end of the year, I'll be phoning in with all right.
But you never do, John. John, I remember you beat us in the Community Shield one year after you beat us never again. Oh, we're gonna do this, do that. Honestly, mate, I've never heard. This is probably the first time you phoned back since that seat. It's unbelievable, mate.
No, listen, I'm a regular phoner. Let me just say one thing about Arteta.
Go on, keep going. Go on.
I wasn't in love with Arteta, but when I saw the Amazon documentary, and there was a bit in the documentary where he was talking about players were slacking off in training, and he said Pepe's house. And he said since 2014, this place has been Pepe's house. And he explained what Pepe's house is where you go and you just go and play PlayStation and mess around it. That club ain't being run like that anymore. That club is a proper football club now. Okay?
John.
That makes a hell of a difference.
John.
You've got an American guy just going through the catalogue saying, I'll have this one, I'll have that one.
John.
And you think you're going to finish above us.
John.
That's the joke.
He's rattled, isn't he, Cundy?
John.
He's rattled. John, you know when he gets
rattled? I'm just
he
saying,
starts
John.
repeating your name.
No, but I've got
he
to.
starts repeating your name because you've got nothing else to say. How many games you played?
You're in denial, mate. You're in denial.
John, I'm letting you talk, right? Because you phoned us up and you don't know. Without people like you. No, that's true. But, John, it's 7 games. And this is what you Arsenal fans do. You'll never learn, will you?
It's nothing to do with the game.
7. 7.
What did you think when Holland came to the league? Did you think he was going to do well or he wasn't?
7 games. You lot wanted him out.
Question. When you saw Holland to the Premier League,
John,
did you think he was going to be good or not?
John, don't ask me. Ask your fellow gurus. You wanted him out.
Who, Arteta?
Oh, they want him sacked. They want him sacked.
We're not privy to the information that's going on behind the scenes at the time. If we had known that there was an actual policy in place of the way they were going to recruit players and what's happened over the last few years, we lost a lot of money with players that we lost out of the club for nothing. I've never known. We recovered it with great young players. We got Saka. He's worth 100 million. He's one of the best young players in the world.
No, I disagree. But I've never known North London to have such little success yet be the noisiest people in football. It's unbelievable.
You know
the Perriers.
I'm old enough to remember when your local rivals were Fulham, mate. So don't give it.
They still are, John. They still are. John, they still are.
No, you got big. You got big. You got big. Yeah.
Honestly, the North London derby.
You got big for a while, but you're going back to
the North London derby. Here it is. What it is, right? It's the loudest shouting voices ever that in the last 10 years have won very little. And to be fair, at least Arsenal.
Thanks for your call.
Arsenal keeping North London alive.
What?
What have you won in 10 years? Last 15, 20 years? What is it?
Just getting rattled, mate. You're so rattled.
It's unbelievable.
You're so rattled.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
All you do is try and cover Tottenham and Arsenal.
No.
Because Chelsea have fell off a cliff.
I tell you what, I find it every year's the same. Every year. Every year's the same thing, right? It is Groundhog Day. You wait. We're playing Groundhog Day music. Every year's the same. They think they're going to do something. Here, John is perfect. Perfect.